So a lot of people will ask me why I just haven't grown up yet. When am I going to grow up and just get a car? Why do I ride a bike to work? So I figured I'd give you an idea of what it's like to drive. You guys have seen my commute here to work when I ride my bike. Even when I slow down because I'm talking or like getting into what I'm thinking about and I'm not really focusing on getting to work as fast as possible. So now I figured I'd show you what it's like to drive. Give you all the joy. The joy of driving. The joy of driving a car in New York City. You excited? Looks like we got 300 kilobytes a second on this stream. Go to Times Square and press Baked Alaska. What's Baked Alaska? I don't understand. I don't get it. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Why do I never understand what you guys are talking about? Like, it never makes even the slightest bit of sense. I tried installing Linux on my laptop. It's fucking hell on earth. I tried installing some of the audio plugins I use in Windows, and it's giving me that stupid LinVST version mismatch bullshit, or the wine is not starting the DLL, and what the fuck are you guys doing? Anyway, it never works right. It drives me nuts. All I want is to be able to use the plugins that I bought and paid for, the VST audio plugins in Windows. I used to be able to do that with LinVST and Wine, but I wound up having to experiment and use a beta version of Wine. So I don't remember what I did. I got it working a year and a half ago, but I don't remember what I did, and I can't get it to work now. And I noticed I wasted almost an hour of my life on that shit today. I actually almost wasted an hour of my life on that shit today. Never again. Never again. What's a Tuscala? You guys say a lot of things I don't understand. Look at that guy. Bro, the light was red. Drunk ass. The light was red and he fucking went through it. And here's the funny thing. He went through a red to get to another red. Look at this shit. Of course it's an Uber. See that? License plate T751385C. Every time you see someone drive like a fucking idiot in New York City, 99% of the time it's an Uber. 99% of the time it's an Uber. I will, because look at his bumper, bro. Look at that shit. Actually, you can't see it. You'll see it maybe later. It's held together by duct tape. Why? Because he hits other people's cars. Why does he hit other people's cars? Because he drives like a moron. Listen, I don't care if you're a pedestrian and you go through a red light, or you're a bike and you go through a red light, and you look both ways, but you're a fucking car. I don't go through red lights in cars. Like, there's that whole thing where, okay, the light blinks really quickly from yellow to red, and you didn't have time to stop in time, that's one thing. But when it's solid red, just going straight through it while it's solid red, with a car, I think is being a cunt, Because it's much easier to hurt someone with a car than a bike, and it's much easier to miss shit in a car because of blind spots. I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of it because I've gotten hit by Ubers on my bike numerous times, and it's incredibly painful. And it's usually because they're either not using their turn signals or they just do something really fucking dumb. Or they go through a light. So it's highly aggravating. And I get it, they have a financial incentive structure to drive like lunatics, but it doesn't make it any better. Whoa, I'm behind a pedal. I think this guy is pedaling. Check this out. What the fuck? Yo, get a motor, man. Hey, I don't care if you have an illegal buffet. Don't pedal in the street, bro. Oh, man, he's actually pedaling in the street. And it sounds like there's a siren on my right, so I don't think now is a good time to pass on the right. Now is actually a horrible time to pass on the right. Everybody is speeding up to get around a fucking siren. And I'm not gonna be the Uber. Now, that guy needs a motor. That guy needs him some bafang right there. That guy needs a bafang. I don't care if he runs the red light. He's going like 2 miles an hour on a bike, you know? What's the worst he can do? What's a snowbird? Ooh, it's a Mercedes. Is this an E350 or an S550? Also, why you stop in the middle of the road? If I wanted to be a true New York driver, I would honk right now. That's what you're supposed to do, I imagine. Look at this rickshaw. He's pissing everybody off. There's a bike lane right there, and he's being a dick and riding in the street. Now, again, I'm totally okay with a bike riding in the street if he's keeping up. But if you're not keeping up, then what the fuck? And also, why are you stopping, bro? Dude. Ah, man, I changed to the wrong lane. I think there's maybe another rickshaw. There's probably another rickshaw. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a guy in front of him pedaling. That would be funny. That would be very funny. This is actually better than coming in. I don't know why the fuck I decided to drive a car here. It took me about 45 minutes to find a parking spot. Just going around the block. And going around the block each time took about 10 minutes. So I went around the block about 4 times. I don't know how people have the patience for this. I have 3 employees that drive to work every day. Why? Like, the quality of life decrease just looking for parking alone is absolutely fucking abominable. I love my electric bike. I have to make a long trip either tomorrow or Monday, so if I ride my bike for a long period of time and don't take the car, I take it every now and then just so that I don't forget how to drive. Because it's really weird, because like with a bike, if I have the entire lane, I have a lot of space. I really feel like I'm free. When I'm in a car, I kind of feel like what a 500-pound person feels like on a plane seat, you know? Like if you're 500 pounds and you're sitting in an economy plane seat, that's kind of the way I feel in a car. I feel trapped. I lack the ability to go in between stuff. You have to worry about hitting shit. You can't, it's very different. So, I figured if I have a long trip that I have to make, I should take the car out, just once or twice before it. Because the way I figure it is, if I can drive, once you can drive in New York City, you can drive anywhere. Because you have people that constantly jump in front of your car. You have people that make lane changes without their turn signal, and they're right next to you. You have it's a minefield. So if you can drive here, you can pretty much drive anywhere, I think. Once you've gotten to a level where you can drive here and your car is not completely smashed up, I think you're good. One thing you'll notice if you take a look around a lot is a lot of the cars here are being held together by duct tape, even the nice ones. Yeah, he didn't realize that he was very close to going to the tunnel. He was very close to taking the tunnel, and he didn't want to. I've made that mistake before. I sometimes catch it like a little bit before he does, though. But I've made that mistake before. It's a tree. And crazies with sticks that break windows. Can't forget that. Yeah, the double shake flashlight app is awesome. I missed that since I have a Samsung phone. No, there's nothing like it, man. Nothing like it. No, I don't do that, Raro Repte. I could toss an extension cord out the window, but somebody would probably steal it for the copper inside of it in my neighborhood. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to steal the copper out of my fucking extension cord.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Canal Street.
I don't fuck with that. I know that's likely going to go very poorly for me.
Now turn left onto Canal Street.
Who's boss? Stars. Is YouTube allow streaming of 360 or 180 videos? I don't know how you do that, honestly. GoPro has a streaming application, but I've gone over how it works. You have a place to charge the car. I do. Is stealing personal safety something really frequent in New York City? Not really. Only if you're not paying attention. Here's the thing. So the only 2 times that I've ever had it, like something get taken while it was on me was I left it behind at a fucking restaurant. You know, I can't really be that mad at it. I mean, I can be mad at it. New York City is full of fucking scumbags. Somebody claimed my bag. But like, why did that happen? It happened because I left the restaurant with my bag sitting outside the restaurant under a table. And if it was a cheap bag, that'd be one thing, but it was an Under Armour bag. Granted, I didn't buy it new. I got the thing. It's like a $50 or $60 retail bag. I think I got the thing on eBay for like $8 because I'm a cheapskate. But no, that is a yellow light, sir. So that is one of those things where like I left it out there, you know? I left it. Now, if you leave something somewhere and you notice it 2 days later that it's missing and somebody didn't bring it back to you, I mean, like, come on, it's you know, what are you gonna do? But again, don't get me wrong, it would be nice to live someplace where somebody's like, oh, hey, I noticed somebody left this here. Instead of stealing it and claiming it myself, what if I try to get it back to its owner? You know, and that's what I'm visiting. I'm visiting a place in New Hampshire. I'm visiting a temporary apartment. I'd like to buy a house in New Hampshire, but before I buy a house, I'd like to spend a few months in an apartment there to get an idea and make sure that I'm not making a horrible life mistake. Because if you buy a house, that's kind of a big decision to make. Buying a house is a big decision to make, especially if you choose the wrong area. That guy is not going 25 miles an hour, but that's fine. Because he's going to be hitting a red light soon anyway. All that speeding is for nothing. See, in a bike, it doesn't matter. You could speed, but you can also go through the red light. But you have a license plate. He can't go through the red light. What the fuck was that? Did you hear some dude scream at the top of his lungs? I didn't run him over, did I? You guys would tell me if I ran somebody over, right? Sounds like somebody just got run over by a car. But I didn't feel anything. I didn't see anything. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't me. I would have noticed that, right? You know, I had this one student that came from this really, really rural part. I forget if it was Michigan or Minnesota, but what the fuck is that? What is this shit? What the fuck? This is the thing I like in a bike. I don't feel trapped. Like, even though the lights are red, I could just zoom the fuck out of here out from all the... I hear some lunatic screaming about killing people. I'm out of there. But, you know, in a car, you're just kind of stuck sitting in the middle of it all. Not really sure why he's screaming about killing people, but yeah, I'm about to... Anyway, the theft thing, like, yeah, and the other time, it was like 4 a.m, I was dead tired, I was holding my phone while I was playing Zenonia with my headphones on, and I literally fell asleep standing up. I was that tired, I fell asleep standing up. Some dude just comes by with his with his hand out and just grabs the headphone wire. The headphone wire, I still remember, it was a Sennheiser MX500. It just stayed attached to the phone, and he just went away on his bike. He was just riding his bike. He just literally just kept his hand out and just grabbed it like a lasso. And that was that. But the only 2 times I've ever had something like that happen is when I wasn't paying attention at all. Everybody say hello to Dr. Evil Genius. He's moving up in the world to a new apartment. Yes, the only times I've had problems with that shit, it was when I was literally either sleeping or falling asleep. Like that day that I left my backpack at Mamoon's Falafel, I was dead tired. So if you look at the stream on Cinevision's channel, you'll see that I was falling asleep. I was looking at my phone on the train, and then I was like falling asleep and waking myself up. The top voted comment on that is Lewis looks dead. And so if you're dead tired, that's the thing, that stuff happens. But that doesn't happen unless I'm dead tired. And, you know, he got me. I've lived here 33 years. I've gotten got twice. It is what it is. You know, I work hard. I don't always have the best of sleep schedules. And sometimes, you know, I travel to a conference on 2 hours of sleep, meet a bunch of people, come right back here, do a workshop without getting time for sleep or taking a day off, and then I leave something at a restaurant. You know, it is what it is. I fucked up. I admit I fucked up. And now I lost, you know, $2,400 worth of stuff because of it. It's a lesson, and I won't do it again. So my punishment is I don't have that little DPA mic and that Zoom video recorder Zoom audio recorder, and I'm going back to my ThinkPad P50, which has this bug where it randomly crashes. But that's going to teach me not to do this in the future. That will teach me not to do this in the future. I also decided to punish myself by installing Linux on it, but I think that's a little bit too far. I don't think I deserve that. So I'm actually going to wipe it when I get home and install Windows because I don't hate myself enough to use Linux on this computer. I was this close to using Linux, and then I wanted to use a plugin that I paid. I paid $250 to have access to this plugin in Windows. I read a guide for an hour on how to install LinVST with Wine, and at the end of it, it says LinVST version mismatch or DLL not loading, and I said, "Fuck this horse shit. I'm done. I'm going home and installing Windows." What the fuck was wrong with me that I actually thought Linux would be usable as a operating system in 2021? Not even close. So I Google the error, and of course, I find 3 threads and all of them are unsolved. Like somebody gives some random advice, but each one of them, the problem is unsolved. Nobody ever figures it out. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. It is what it is, Glass Silver. There's a lot of crap I want to get done, and I don't always have the opportunity to. I'd rather pay for it when I get older than pay for it when I'm older in the form of I got a lot of sleep, but I didn't really accomplish much, and I look back on my life with nothing but regret. One thing that I can say, I run myself into the ground in a lot of ways, but when I'm older, I'm not going to have regret. I'm going to look back, okay, you know, I take that back a little. I'm going to look back on my life and say, these are a bunch of decisions I wish I didn't fuck up, but at least I'll be able to know that I left a mark in the world. And that's fine for me. Install Arch. No, I'm not. No, fuck Linux. Fuck Linux. Linux for server. Linux not for person that wants to install an audio plugin. And don't even get started with that broken pile of shit jack audio. Fuck all of that. Oh, go. Here, come on. Here, go. Change lane. Now both lanes can be slow. Go figure you have a fucking Uber license plate, you cunt. Every time someone does something stupid, it says TLC. Every single fucking time I see somebody doing some stupid, thirsty shit, TLC. That is not tender love and care, I'll give you that. Jack is a clusterfuck. It's the worst thing that happened to Linux since fucking Leonard Pottering introduced Pulse Audio. And fuck him too. Didn't he come up with System D as well? System D and Pulse Audio? One person? Ah, evil. Pure evil. Linux is cool. It's just if you want to actually do any sort of audio post-processing, it's a complete pathetic pile of shit. The same stuff that like you have a Windows 3.1 level of services available to you in Linux if you want to do any sort of audio processing. It's really sad. Linux is cool if you want to make a hobby out of making shit work. Yes. Yes. You can I wasted an hour on that. But I wasted an hour because I was waiting for a fucking parking spot for a while, so I had nothing better to do. But I wasted an hour and I still didn't figure it out. Absolute waste, man. I'm deleting that shit the moment I get home. Windows, baby. Windows. For people who want to get shit done. What the... This is actually not bad traffic, honestly. Coming in was horrible. I think it's because it's a little later. Pretty much everybody here is an Uber. The 3 cars in front of me are all Ubers. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Cargo vroom. Cargo vroom. The one thing, what I like about my bike that you don't get with this car is my bike goes vroom. You can hear it. Like you can hear the motor. You can hear the motor making different noises because it's a geared motor. You can hear it make different noises at different pitches and different frequencies as the RPM goes up. So you can hear vroom, vroom, vroom. And this, it's just, there's no noise at all until you get over 80 miles an hour and then you get coil whine. There's actually quite a bit of coil whine in a Tesla over 80 miles an hour. The people that say it's a silent motor, bullshit. Go over 80 miles an hour. If you have hearing over 14 kilohertz, you'll hear it instantly. But I don't mind it. I like it. It kind of adds to that feeling that you're leaving the universe. That you're going a little, makes you feel like you're doing something you're not supposed to. Makes you feel like you're doing something you're not supposed to do. I like that feeling.
Now bear right onto Concrete Street.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just... Why do I have Sesame Street stuck in my head?
Now turn left onto J Street. In 500 feet, turn left onto Dillery Street. Now turn left onto Dillery Street.
Thank you for making the blip noise very last minute. I appreciate it. Wait until you're passing to make your siren noise. It's quality right there. You never know. Is there a crime that he's trying to stop, or is he late for his date? You'll never know.
In 500 feet, keep right to stay on Dillery Street.
Maybe he's looking for my framework. It's possible that he's looking for my framework in my Zoom.
Now keep right to stay on Artillery Street.
Yo, Bishat. Пиздец, сука, блядь. Thank you for crossing on a red. You know I'm a student driver. You shouldn't do that. Good for you. When people see my car coming, they should not be crossing on a red. They should run. Run! Yeah. Oh, it's so it's the kind of depressing, because when I filed the report, I told them, like, the guy at the place said they have the footage, they just can't hand it over without the a police report, and it doesn't go back very far, so it's probably going to get overwritten really soon, they said. He's like, yeah, we'll try and see if we can get over there. Yeah, I'm not a defund the police kind of person. I definitely probably lean, like, I'm not a back the blue or a defund the police person. I kind of, it's like a case dependent thing for me. I think temperamentally I would lean on the back the blue side, but I get the defund people to some extent. Like, when you see the what's the word I'm looking for? The level of engagement that you get for $6 billion a year in taxpayer funds for someone to walk 3 blocks over. It's literally 3 blocks to pick up footage before it gets overwritten. You kind of get it. You kind of get it. All the ones that matter, Wes, except for the porn websites. Let them have all those. I think I'm the only one that signals for obstructions in New York City. My instructor said that I would be the only one that actually does this if I continue doing it after my test, and I do believe he was correct. That whole thing about defund the police being just about it being for mental health services or having them do less is, in my opinion, bullshit, and here's why. I've met enough people that have the defund the police sign up that will be standing right next to somebody with an abolish the police sign, and they will be standing arm in arm without saying anything about how the other person signed probably, I don't really agree with you. Like, for instance, when it comes to stuff like right to repair, you will see me say I support independent repair shops, but if you are reflowing dead GPUs, fuck you. If you have a 30-day warranty on your board repairs, fuck you. If you are reflowing touch ICs instead of replacing or changing the jumper under it, fuck you. I try to set a clear line in the sand between myself and the people who are going to try to, like, kind of cling on to my movement and then do shitty things with it, if that makes any sense. And it's really important for me to be able to set a distinction, to say, listen, okay, you're standing next to me, but no, that's a little bit too far. No, we're not going there. No, we're not doing that. I don't care if you support right to repair. Fuck you, L2 Computer. Stop selling people fake GPUs. I wish I could buy it. It's just I've seen too much. But yeah, when you have a budget of like 5 or 6 billion, and then next year it's 6 or 7 billion, and you see the speed at which things are done, like, you just go to file a police report and you get the in-person beautiful experience of it all. It really just kind of makes you wonder, what the fuck am I paying for? Speaking of what the fuck am I paying for, do you hear these roads? Do you hear them? Do you hear them? I feel like bumper cars in Six Flags or something. Oh, dear God. What does this shit? I'm gonna go out here and fill these potholes up with solder. Maybe empty like broken. Oh my God! I'm gonna fill these potholes up with MacBooks at some point. I have a lot of broken MacBook boards. Maybe I could grind them down and turn them into tar. What is he supposed to do? Rip the sign out of his hands? No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm simply saying that they not agree with the people that are standing right next to them, consistently be marching with the people right next to them, consistently be retweeting people that are saying those very same things, and consistently support politicians that say the exact same things. You don't have to rip the sign out of the hand. It's just, I don't believe you. You know, I would like to believe you that what you mean is we would just like to do these specific particular things. You're just always standing next to somebody that is radical, and you don't really have the ability to carve out the radical from it. Or if you're not going to carve out the radical part from it, then it's difficult for me to really support it or trust it. My favorite one is there was a video I recorded last year where I actually walked through a protest march because I kind of actually wanted to. I don't want to like read the New York Times or watch Tucker Carlson tell me what's going on in reality. I'd like to actually experience it for myself. So I walked through a couple of them. So I decided, let me walk through a couple of them. And I remember seeing one of them that said defund the police, and then another one said abolish the police, and then under it in parentheses it said yes really. So I like the yes really in parentheses was my favorite because it just feels like sticking the tip in. Because if the idea was, yo man, the NYPD had $5 billion last year, they have $6 billion this year. Like, is there really $1 billion more crime this year? Can we like roll back a little bit? I would get that. That's something you could actually get me behind. As someone that says New York City takes too much of my fucking money.
500 feet, turn left onto Marcy Avenue. Now turn left onto Marcy Avenue.
But I've made enemies in my own industry because when Apple has been right about something or when they actually have a point, I will bring it up. Like Vice. I used to get contacted by Vice all the time about right to repair. 2 years ago, in my opinion, they fucked up the story on who's the guy I'm thinking of? I am thinking of Henrik Husby. They fucked up the Henrik Husby story, like bad. And once new information came out, I made them aware of that new information. Never heard from them. They never updated the article. They never went over any of what they got wrong. So I tossed them under a bus. I gave them a month and a half. After a month and a half of radio silence, when I made sure they had all the documents to demonstrate that their story was incorrect, I tossed them under a bus. They deserved it. Because the thing is, I can't trust that people are going to trust me if when my opponent actually has a point on something, I'm just going to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Now your destination is on the right.
See, that particular city council move, I would not be against. The only reason that I'm against the slogan is because that slogan winds up getting used by people who cannot differentiate between defund and abolish, that refuse to disavow the abolish section of it. clearly and consistently. I'm gonna revel. Look at me. I have work to do. One thing I do is I kind of procrastinate some of the work that I have until I charge. So I take all the work that I've been putting off that I really, 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 really don't want to do, and I put it off for charging so that I can get it done. And I'm trapped, like I can't go play with my cat. I can't talk to an employee. I can't do anything else. I'm literally stuck here. So if I have annoying clerical work I have to do, I can sit here. You know what? I'd like to see if this stupid adapter that I found actually works. I'm going to use one of the ones over there so I can test this damn adapter. I want to see if this adapter works. Let's see. Don't you beep at me. I don't need a seatbelt in a parking lot. Are you my car or are you Elon's car? Fuck off. Yeah, I want to see if this adapter I have actually works. Because the ones over there, you have an adapter already. I want to use one of the ones that doesn't have an adapter. And let's see if this is one. Don't hit the call. Okay, you're back. There's water in the credit card reader. You corroded piece of shit. That's hysterical. Fucking water damaged credit card reader. Alright, let's try next door. Piece of fucking shit. That's kind of funny. You can't make that shit up. Water in the credit card reader. Water in the credit card reader. Don't get card skimmed. I mean, not much I can do about that, right? You have to have some blind faith, some blind hope. Hope and prayers. Prayers and hopes. It's like a school shooting, except, well, not like a school shooting. But that's what everybody wishes when there's a school shooting. Hopes and prayers, right? Alright, let's try the next one. The one thing that's nice about Revel is they have chargers for, they have CCS, Chademo, and Tesla. The bad thing about Revel is that half of their chargers don't actually work. Do the chargers not take a phone app? Well, they claim to, but it doesn't actually exist. So they say there's a phone app, but I can't appear to actually find it anywhere. So it doesn't seem to exist, and because it doesn't exist, I'm not able to use it. I'm only able to use it if it exists. And there's a problem with it not existing that I have not solved. Come on, Lewis, you know better than what? Than what? Pull the card reader to check. What are you talking about, pull the card reader? You want me to literally rip the card reader out of the machine? What are you, nuts? You want me to bash the fucking thing in and beat the card reader? Alright, so my adapter that I found works. Beautiful. Hopes and prayers. Prayers and hopes. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts, hopes, and prayers. Prayers, thoughts, and hopes.